additional video, and in today's video we are going to talk about some of the additional reading passages which are prescribed for the degree second year students under unit 3. So before we move into the actual passage, let us try to understand a few related terms to the space. The first one is starship or the starliner, means a spacecraft designed for interstellar travel. That means this spacecraft travels in the space between the planets and other stars and all. Then the spacecraft. Spacecraft is a vehicle designed for travel or operation in space beyond the Earth's atmosphere or in orbit around the Earth. So it can go around the Earth or it can go beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Then comes space explorer. A space explorer is someone who studies and explores space and celestial bodies beyond Earth. Space exploration is conducted using a variety of methods, including telescopes. These are the telescopes, students. So, astronomers use telescopes to explore space. Means they are used to look at the far off things into the sky, the things which we cannot observe with our naked eye. Then the space probes. These are the uncrewed robotic space probes which are used to explore space. Uncrewed means no human beings will be there, only robots will be there to explore the space. So these are the some of the terms, students, and adding to them, you have to understand satellite. I think this is a very common terminology where every one of you know it. It's an artificial body placed in orbit around the Earth or Moon or another planet in order to collect information or for communication. Now all the TV matches and the satellite, communication in your mobile phones, the live matches, viewing of the live matches, everything is possible only because of these satellites. Okay, then orbit. What is an orbit? An orbit is a curved path that an object in space takes around another object such as a planet, star or moon. So basically it's a roadway. See, look at these planets. They all travel in a fixed path, curved path around the in the solar system around the sun. So spaceship, this is very important, students. It's an artificial satellite, means very huge in size. It's an artificial satellite designed to stay in orbit permanently and to be occupied by humans for long periods. So the humans can go inside these spaceships and they can conduct experiments and stay there for longer periods. Okay, there are two prominent spaceships already, fully operated spaceships in the space, student. One is ISS, the International Space Ship, and the next one is one spaceship manufactured by China. So these are the two fully operated spaceships. So the humans can go there and come back. You all, recent news, you all I think aware of it. Sunita Williams and her colleague Butch Wilmore are there in the spaceship. Now they have to come back to Earth. Now let us take a look at the ISS tour, students. That is the International Spaceship Tour, how the kitchen looks like and the bedrooms and the toilet looks like. I'm going to play a small video for you so that...
Hello, I'm Sunny Williams. I'm up here on the International Space Station. A little phone booth, but it's pretty comfy. I've got a sleeping bag. It's sticky. There's tension. And then you can... Two options. Swallow it. So they're sort of two slightly...
Now we'll try to read the additional reading passages. There are 5 space exploration missions to look out for in 2023, and it's been an eventful year for the space exploration with successes including the completion of NASA's Artemis 1 mission finally. And this Artemis mission is nothing but, it stands for Acceleration, Reconnection, Turbulence and Electrodynamics Mission of the moon's interaction with the sun. So A stands for acceleration, R for reconnection, T for turbulence, E for electrodynamics, and MIS for mission. And this is the first kind of mission. What does it do? The mission will test our capabilities to orbit the moon and return to Earth. So go around the moon and come back to Earth and set the stage for future missions to the lunar vicinity. The spacecraft will stay in that orbit for at least 6 days to collect data and allow mission controllers to assess the performance of the spacecraft. So this is the spacecraft, students. It is called as Orion spacecraft. In Artemis 1, it is called Orion spacecraft, which goes round the moon. See, it starts from here, it goes around the moon, it makes orbits around the moon, and then this blue line, it comes back to Earth and falls into the ocean. See, with the help of the parachutes, the spacecraft or the Orion craft will fall into the ocean, and then it remains there for some time before the engineers or the scientists go and conduct studies on the information which was brought down by this Orion spacecraft. So that is Artemis 1 mission, which was completed. In 2023 it is completed. Now Artemis 2 is about to be launched, students. And the inauguration of the James Webb Space Telescope, that is the James Webb Space Telescope, and the completion of China's Tiangong Space Station. So you have seen how a space station looks like, and so these are the two important missions which have been completed in the year 2023. So 2023 is set to be another busy year. Here are 5 of the most exciting missions to watch out for. Now we are going to study about these 5 of the most exciting missions, students. So this is the space station which is going around the Earth. Okay, and these are the two, International Space Station and the China Space Station. These two you can see in the picture, students. So, and now the first passage, it's about Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer. So in April, that is last year, the European Space Agency is set to launch the Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, which is called as JUICE, in what will be the Europe's first dedicated robotic mission to Jupiter. Jupiter, you know, it is the biggest planet in the Earth, students. You all know that. So JUICE is due to reach the planet in July 2031. It has started in 23, but it will reach in 31 only, after performing an incredible flight path through the solar system. The mission will enter into the orbit around Jupiter and perform numerous flybys of its large icy moons, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. These are the 3 moons of Jupiter, students. Jupiter has many moons as such, more than 60 they say, or sometimes 70 also they say. But mainly this explorer will go to these 3 moons and conduct studies, especially on Ganymede. So after 4 years of moon flybys means going round and round and round, JUICE will then enter into orbit around Ganymede. This is the moon, the biggest moon of Jupiter, the largest moon in the solar system also, becoming the first spacecraft ever to reach orbit around the moon of another planet. The icy moons of Jupiter are interesting as they are all believed to host oceans of liquid water beneath their frozen surfaces. So these moons are covered with layers and layers of ice, very thick layers of ice. And if you can go into the if you can penetrate through the ice and go inside, you will find oceans of liquid water. So Europa in particular is regarded as one of the most likely abodes in the solar system for extraterrestrial life, students. I think you all know the meaning of extraterrestrial life. That means life beyond Earth. Till now, you know, we find only life existing on Earth as far as we know. But it is believed that there is life on the other planets also. So even in the moons also there could be life. So radar which is going. So this is the explorer, students. The JUICE explorer, Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer.
Launched a mission to search for alien life. The Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, or JUICE, is heading to Ganymede, Europa and Callisto, Jupiter's mysterious icy moons. Packed with advanced instruments, JUICE will study their icy surfaces, look for signs of life and see if they're habitable. What's so special about these moons? They may have huge oceans beneath their icy crusts, holding more than double Earth's water volume. This groundbreaking mission could change our understanding of life beyond Earth.
So second paragraph or the passage is about SpaceX Starship. You have already come to know about the Starship, student. So although no date has been announced by aerospace company SpaceX, you all know SpaceX is run by Elon Musk. At the time of writing, the first orbital test flight of the Super Heavy Starship spacecraft is highly anticipated to occur in early 2023. Starship will be the largest spacecraft capable of carrying humans from Earth to destinations in space. So it carries the humans, students, mainly the Starship, and destinations in space. That is nothing but the ISS, the International Space Station, which is larger, but it was assembled in the space. It will be the most powerful launch vehicle ever to fly, capable of lifting 100 tons of cargo to low Earth orbit. So it can carry up to 100 tons of cargo, means all the material apart from the human beings. Starship is the collective name for a two component system. So this is the spaceship, students, you can see here. And then the two component system, this Starship has the mainly two components consisting of the Starship spacecraft, which carries the crew and cargo, and the super heavy rocket, the rocket, which flies into the space. The rocket component will lift Starship to some 65 kilometers altitude before separating and returning to Earth in a controlled landing. I think you all know the controlled landing means it should not land on people or the homes. It should land into the oceans. That is called as the controlled landing, and whichever point you want the rocket to come back and land, that is the controlled landing, and it is done only by this Elon Musk SpaceX organization, student. So the upper Starship component will then use its own engines to push itself the rest of the way to orbit. The remaining Starship, it will jet into the space and it will go into the orbits. Several short test flights of the Starship portion of the system have been made with varying degrees of success. Varying degrees of success means to some extent they are success and to some extent they are failures also. But the upcoming flight will be the first time the whole system will be used to reach space as one. You remember this Starship was assembled there. They told very clearly but it was assembled. Means it was so heavy, so parts were carried into the space and then they were assembled, means put together. That is how the space stations or the starships are constructed. But this is the first time they are taking the entire starship to the space. So, but the upcoming flight will be the first time the whole system will be used to reach space as one, not the components. This first orbital flight was originally scheduled to launch in September 22, but has been delayed several times. Several times it got delayed, but finally it went into the space, students. So that is the second passage, students. Hope you got the meaning of it. And this is the spaceship or the spacecraft. See, it carries inside, there are cabins for the humans and the cargo to be carried into the space. Now the third project is Dear Moon project, students. So the long awaited Dear Moon project, which will take members of the public on a 6-day trip around the moon and back, is due for launch on Starship and was originally planned for 2023. So the trip, the journeys to the moon, students. Now we travel only to the places on the earth, but very soon we are going to travel to the moon also. The exact date will depend on the successful test of Starship, but has been on the books since 2018. It will be the first true deep space tourism launch. So tourism will be started. So they should be very careful. Actually, they plan to launch it in 2018, but many tests are being conducted because it deals with the human lives. And you all know now the celebrities have been selected to go into the tourism students, space tourism. So they have to be very, very careful when they are dealing with the human life. Already you have seen, six the most richest persons on the earth, the six people went deep down into the ocean sometime back, and the vessel burst out. No, not bursting, it compressed, killing all the five people who were traveling there. You remember that? They got deep into the ocean. So they should be very, very careful in launching this tourism. Okay. So that is a picture of the tourism, not true. So now we are going to watch a small clipping of this Dear Moon mission students.
Billionaires going on adventure tours against the will of nature sounds familiar, right? And we already know what happened to the previous billionaire group. Being a billionaire, you opt for a Logitech controller for your vehicle, or you get a DJ as your pilot. What's the difference? With the Logitech controller, the billionaire group had their fate sealed in 30 milliseconds. Can't imagine how long a spaceship would last with a DJ as pilot. OceanGate's Titan has a successor in adventure tourism called the Dear Moon Project, and its spaceship is made by none other than the company of the king of billionaires, Elon Musk's SpaceX. And yes, it will be piloted by famous American DJ Steve Aoki. It will make use of a SpaceX Starship spacecraft on a private spaceflight flying a single circumlunar trajectory around the moon. SpaceX's Starship Dear Moon is the first civilian mission to the moon. The project was unveiled in September 2018 and is scheduled to launch in 2024. The Dear Moon project is not just a lunar tourism mission, but also a multicultural art project. The project is being managed and financed by Japanese billionaire Yusaku Maezawa.
They are going on to the moon. So financed by business entrepreneur Yusaku Maezawa, a competition was set up to select 8 members of the public to join Maezawa on the trip, all completely paid for. And only this man, Yusaku Maezawa, is paying for all the 8 celebrities who are traveling to moon students. The winners and the criteria used have not been disclosed, although it is suspected the guests may be established or aspiring artists. Already, when at the time of writing of this essay, the names were not disclosed, students, but now the names have been disclosed. I'm going to show you the small clipping of these artists who were selected. So this mission will mark a big change in the way we think about space, as previously only astronauts picked using incredibly stringent criteria have been able to go into deep space. So we are not counting brief 10-minute jaunts up to 100 kilometers, but it is going to be very, very long journey. Thousands of kilometers they are going to travel. It's not a short trip. So a full trip of several days poses extreme risks, both in terms of health and engineering. So people are going into the space where it is very, very dangerous and risky, because there is no gravity, there is no oxygen, so many things, so many problems are there. So the success or failure of the Dear Moon mission could affect whether deep space tourism becomes the next big thing, or it is relegated back to being a pipe dream. Means, which is the next passage. The fourth passage is asteroid explorer returns to Earth. So this is the Osiris Rex spacecraft, student. The name is Osiris Rex. The full form is Origins, Spectral Interpretation, Resource Identification, Security, Regolith Explorer. That is a long name of the explorer which goes into the space, and it will find out this rock or the asteroid, students. You all know that asteroids also orbit in the earth along with the planets. So it is going to find out the near earth asteroid Bennu. The name of the asteroid is Bennu. A key goal of the robotic mission was to acquire samples of Bennu and return them to Earth for analysis. So this spacecraft goes around this asteroid Bennu and brings back some samples. So Osiris Rex is now fast returning to Earth with up to kilogram of precious asteroid samples stored aboard. So this spacecraft Osiris Rex, it is going to make orbits around this diamond-shaped Bennu. The asteroid is diamond-shaped, and then it will come back. Actually, at the time of writing of this essay, they told that it is fast returning, but already it came back, students. It came back, and then it brought the asteroid sample also there. And the first asteroid sample was brought by the Japanese, it seems. So Bennu is an approximately diamond-shaped world. Why do they call it as world? Because even our Earth is also made of rock and soil. So even Bennu is also made of rocks. That's why they are calling it as world. Earth is a world, and this asteroids also could be worlds. Just half a kilometer in size, but has many interesting characteristics. It is believed to have broken off from a much larger asteroid. So there could be a mother asteroid from which it is broken in the first 10 million years of solar system. Some of the minerals detected within it have been altered by water, implying that Bennu's ancient parent body possessed liquid water. So some minerals which were collected from the asteroid told that means revealed that the mother asteroid could have could contain this liquid water. So if water is there, it is such a good news for the humankind, students, so that life can be possible. By a chance, if any hazard occurs on to the earth, or if this asteroid hits the earth, earth will break into pieces. Half a kilometer, like a mountain hits the earth, both are in orbiting, both are rotating, and rotating things, when they hit, lots of kinetic energy is produced, and it could damage or completely destruct the earth. So that time, we have to find other places which are suitable for the life. So it has also an abundance of precious metals, including gold and platinum. Finally, Bennu is classed as a potentially hazardous object. This is a hazardous object also because it is orbiting very near to the earth. That's why it is called as near earth asteroid. So they are going to find out what material it is made of, so that we can also think of destroying it if at all there is a threat of this asteroid coming nearer to the earth and hitting the earth in future. So though it is a small possibility, but we cannot rule out the possibility. So that is about the fourth passage, students. Now let us watch the a small clipping about this a spacecraft which has gone around the earth and brought the samples from there. That is Osiris Rex, and so this is the picture of Osiris Rex.
A NASA spacecraft just returned to Earth with part of an asteroid inside it. Here's how they did that and why this is so huge. So back in 2016, scientists sent a robotic spacecraft to collect samples from an asteroid called Bennu, which was chosen because it's 4.5 billion years old, it's super carbon rich, and it might contain the biochemical building blocks for life, meaning that a very long time ago, asteroids could have helped bring some of the ingredients for life to Earth. It took the spacecraft over 2 years to reach the asteroid, and then almost another 2 to map and identify a safe collection site. And when the robot finally touched down on that asteroid, it found that it wasn't solid rock. It was like stepping on a ball pit, which wasn't great. The spacecraft sunk in, asteroid bits are flying everywhere, but it got out safely and it got samples. It just landed back on Earth this week in the Utah desert, and scientists are very excited to figure out what it can tell us.
So the last passage, student, the fifth passage, India's private space launch. We all know that SpaceX is launched by Elon Musk, and now we are in the race. So while SpaceX is the most prominent private space launch company, there are many others developing. Developing their own series of launches around the world. Skyroot Aerospace, that is the name of our aerospace, students, which successfully launched its Vikram S rocket in November 2022, and it's soon to become the first private Indian company to launch a satellite. So the rocket itself reached 90 kilometers in altitude, a distance that would need to be improved upon to get a constellation of satellites into orbit. So Skyroot's first satellite launch is planned for 2023 with the goal of undercutting the cost of private space launch rivals by producing its 3D printed rockets. That is the technology India is going to use, students, so that it could cut the cost. It can be in the competition with the other space launch companies. So it's such an honor to India to reach to that level, the 5 important space launching missions which have taken place in 2023, and India is also one of them, students. So if successful, this could also provide a route for cheaper launches of scientific missions, enabling a faster rate of research. So that is about India's contribution to the space exploration, students, and these are the questions we are going to answer now. So thanks for watching with patience, students, and if this tutorial made sense, please do not hesitate to like, share and subscribe. It means a lot. So let us meet up in the next video. Bye bye for now. Take care all of you.